I'm welcoming you to Riding Tiger with Arijit, and I have got an amazing guest today. But before I begin, I would love to give an introduction about the concept called Riding Tiger with Arijit Bhattacharya. So when you start your venture, your business, your own career, usually it starts with lot of risk. People who start their own venture, they are risk takers. It's not easy to take that kind of risk. When they start their venture, they usually adopt a cub, and that small tiger, when they hold in their hand, they usually feed it in an intention that it will eventually grow big and strong, and of course it will become stronger than the person who has adopted itself. So that's your tiger. When it becomes big, that business is becoming stronger faster than you. But you have a risk. When you start riding on the top of that tiger, now the tiger is strong enough to probably kill you. So if you stop, it is going to kill you. That's the fear that you have always in your mind, which means when you run your business, you just can't stop that journey. It's a never-ending journey as an entrepreneur until unless you take the liberty to probably take an exit from that particular risk zone. Some people take that leap. Some people take a risk of probably stopping that particular journey and then start another journey in their life. Even though they do on the top of the tiger once again. Those people, we call them as serial entrepreneurs. So as a person, you need to understand how to feed your tiger properly. And that feeding material is called money, which means as an entrepreneur, you need to understand the art and science of feeding your business. You cannot overfeed it. If you do that, probably your business becomes a little bit of slow. If you learn how to feed it properly, it will give you an amazing lifelong journey, which is remarkable, and probably others will remember you as a tiger rider. So we have a person like this called Michael, and Michael is doing that same. I know for sure because we know each other for quite a long number of, I would say, years now. And Michael is doing it successfully for a couple of years, and he is doing an amazing work, which is completely a different vertical and dimension, and he's doing it worldwide. He's not doing it in a particular only one country. And I'm blessed to introduce you, my friend, our Michael, to the audience. Michael, for the sake of audience, I know what all you do, but for the sake of audience, could you please tell us, the audience, what you do and what are the kind of disruption you're making in planet Earth, please?
It will be a pleasure. And first of all, thank you for having me and for explaining how to ride a tiger. You know, I am living in the middle of Europe. There are no tigers in here. And just now I learn, and it's quite interesting. So what I do, I said all the time that I'm just a simple man with simple aim. And this aim is to build wasteless world for all. And what I do, I teach companies and businesses how to prevent waste happen. And I'm so happy that it resonates with so many that it reach up to the level of governments and United Nations and European Commission. And to do that, I created something which is called Industry 5.0. Right. And some tools and so on. So I'm the founder of Industry 5.0. And as Arijit said, I'm not doing it only in one country. At the moment, I have 102 countries to run through the network of Industry 5.0 ambassadors, and India is one of the leading ones. So I'm happy that we can talk together, and I'm happy to be friend with Arijit because he's right. We know each other for a while, and our work resonates together, and this is exactly why I'm so happy to be there.
Brilliant. Michael, I have an interesting question for you. When you talk about Industry 5.0 as a disruption that you are doing, and the kind of 102 countries you are impacting, if you kindly share maybe one or two test cases of your implementation factors, it will be great for people to understand, because your work is not a small work. So if you can share maybe one or two test cases to the audience, it will be amazing, please.
I will share I will share them, but as well, before I do, I will share something different.
Please.
I will share with the audience how to prevent waste happen, because not everyone does understand what is wasting. So I will use my business card. So please imagine that we are standing in one room and I am used to give you my business card. So I hand it over to you, you take it, everything is fine. But let's erase this memory and we meet again for the first time. Just now we are walking to each other and in the middle, somebody places completely new stainless steel garbage bin, okay? So I come to you, I fall down and my business card fall in the garbage bin. I do not have any second, but you, for whatever reason, you would like to have it. So we look inside, we see it's completely empty, new, shiny, and you said, okay, I will take it, Michael. So I will take it out, check it whether it's not dirty. I apologize with you, hand it over to you. If you take it from me in Czech Republic, you take with that a penalty, right, for $200,000 US. That will be the most expensive business card in your life. The reason for that is very simple, and it's very similar in almost all the countries. It is the waste legislation, which says, among others, that waste is something which it's placed on a location dedicated to waste storage. So garbage bin is a location dedicated to waste storage. In this law and legislation, it's not says whether it's new, dirty, clean, live, whether it's made from gold, platinum, no. If it's land there, it's the end of a product and it's begun with the life of a waste. And just now, to imagine it better, so here is the edge of the garbage bin, and here is how the waste creation works. Here is a product, here is waste. You see, nothing happened with the product. And what I do, I generally catch in the middle, so I never let a product reach the stage of a garbage. And this is so-called waste prevention. So if I catch it here, before the edge, it's a product. What you do with it, it's up to you. You can put it in your book, make a bookmark, put it in your, it's your decision. But if it's here, it will become immediately cost for you because you have to pay for waste management. And right now to the cases. So for example, I was standing in the warehouse of second largest distribution of fruits and vegetables in my country. And there is a coming truck, which was refused by the chain store buyer. The truck was full with radish and he rejected because the leaves on the radish has not been green enough. Mm-hmm. The only thing which the client does, he take every crate and throw it immediately in a garbage container with no thinking, because he needs the crates. He does not need the radish. I was standing then and really crying. So I asked him whether I can take one of the crate with me to test what I can do with it. So I took it. I make 2 dishes out of it. I make a smoothie out of it, just the radish. I did not add anything. Then I cut it, I freeze it, and so on. I returned back to him and I said, stop wasting it. If you get a refusal, I will connect you with this guys. And you know, when I was there 2 years ago, the volumes which he generates, he has 5 distribution centers. In one distribution center, every single one, he generates per month 400 metric tons.
Wow.
So he has 5.
Imagine the kind of help that you did for that particular business.
And I was there 1 month ago. He is on 100 tons. And he is much more profitable, of course, because he cut a big cost thing. The second example, so he can immediately implement. There was no cost related to the implementation, just the connection outside of his scope of business. True. Which he was not able to do before. I teach him how to do, and we did it. So this is one example. The second one, it's quite interesting. it's related to so-called process waste, because in Industry 5.0, we understand 4 types of waste: physical, social, urban, and process waste. This is why you can apply it everywhere. And the process waste was quite interesting story, because I was working at a steel, not steel making, but steel stamping, generally production facility, 30 years old. And they started a new project, or they would like to start a new project, and they need additionally crane inside the factory. They have many, but they need a crane with a higher bearing capacity, so it can move more than 10 tons. And they discuss it in the morning, a production meeting, general manager, all the managers over there. And and they asked me whether I have some crane, because time to time I have similar things like used cranes and so on. And I asked them, why do you need it? And they explained it to me. I stopped them and said, no, I listen to you, but why do you need it if you have it? They said, no, we don't. I don't know why, but day before I went through the factory and I made picture of every single crane to see the weight. I don't know why I did it, but I did it. And one of the cranes, which was in the back of the building, has 15 tons and they need 12. So I said, you have it. And all the people there, including the general manager, said, no, we don't. So I take the entire group, 20 people, go into production and show them. And they say, with this 1 minute information from me, they save 50,000 euro in 1 minute. And this is a waste prevention. We have to, generally, we have to implement even a new name, because you know ROI, return of investment. You have to invest, you get it back. But in Industry 5.0 projects, and that's interesting, you usually do not need to invest, because you utilize what you already have.
Yeah.
So we have implemented a name of so-called zero ROI, which does not mean that you will never get the money back. That means you don't invest to get the benefit, or even in this case of the crane, we have introduced reverse ROI, because you invested long time ago, but you forgot about this investment, and just now you just utilize it. So this is just 2 of many examples. I have over 350 projects. We have saved over 1 million metric tons of waste, of products to become waste already. So, and these are just few. But I will add one more, which even you don't know probably, because it's very fresh in Industry 5.0. Everyone has in his office a printer.
Right.
Everyone printing a lot of papers. But do you know that there exists a machine where you put your printed document inside, and in 3 minutes, white paper will be on the other side? It's your in-house recycling machine. And it can do up to, I think, 8,000 pages per day. Saving 92% of water, because they don't use almost any water. And in 3 minutes, you recycle your own, generally your own paper, which did not become waste, because you will not put it for the first in a garbage bin to take it out and to recycle. No, you will put it in the machine. And what is interesting, if you eliminate or erase information, there are different grades of security. The highest grade worldwide, it's called P7. But this machine, the producer, is considering to even ask for P8 to be created, because he generally turn the paper into fibers, completely delete everything what is colored, and make just a print white paper, or it's not completely white because it's recycled, but it's almost white. So, and there are many technologies from in almost all the industries. So this is why Industry 5.0 is so booming, and this is why we are in so many destinations. So sorry, not 2, but 3, but
this is amazing. This is basically amazing. The kind of work that you're doing, at least if the industry people understand this, it's not about only the reverse ROI. I would call it accelerating the ROI, which probably they have never ever thought of. And not only that, you are helping the planet, at least I'm blessed to be in your friend list as a friend who is helping the planet to at least optimize it. I was talking to a group, I would love to mention them. How can I not mention them, at least when we are talking regarding sustainability factors? I was talking to one group in one part of Asia. These guys were a group of artists, and they wanted to save their mountain. There was a mountain basically, and there was a soda factory which needed to generate soda definitely in their factory, and they wanted to kill that mountain because as you know, as a process, if they don't have alternative sources of generating the materials which is needed for soda, which is like, it's very difficult to do it, so they have to kill the natural resources. And these artists, they created a so long, you can say, propaganda, and they successfully saved that mountain, but eventually the factory became dormant, like they couldn't run it. But this group, they understood that if they shut down a factory, that means it's a loss for the people who are working inside the factory. So they started finding out the solutions through which the factory owner can generate the alternative source, which they don't need to kill the mountain, and then create a sustainability factor. They successfully did that as well. So when we talk about such kind of big vibration, which is happening several different places in Mother Earth, I personally feel that we should bring out these stories to the world. We should talk about this instead of talking which unicorn is raising what kind of amount of money as an investment capital, right? These guys are hero, like you are a hero who is doing amazing cool stuff. So I have a question for you. When you started early, like in your early days, I know your story, so I have that, probably that I can dare to ask you this kind of question. I would say that. So when you started your life, in the initial time, how difficult was it to share it to someone, that what is the kind of concept you are working on? Because the concept that you're talking, don't throw the materials, don't waste existing things that you have, rather give it to me. I will show you the path through which you can generate, help more things. It's not easy to convince people. So if you can share what happened when you started, how difficult was it to share this concept to people, please?
I have one advantage, and this is that I started with the age of 42. So I have 23 years of business experience, and because I'm a logistician, and the people call me strange logistician because I do accept and face very special projects which everyone rejects, and I can do it successfully. So I have the easier way to enter the general managers, let's call it so, in the factories. But on the other hand, because nobody in the world ever tried to prevent waste happen on industrial scale, everything what I did was a blue ocean project. So it has many advantages, some disadvantages. The advantages are you don't have a competitor. Until now, I'm doing it for 9 years. Until now there is no competitor who do it. So I receive a lot of prizes. I'm the CEO of the year in waste prevention and whatever. It's easy because I'm the only one. So generally these prizes are nice, but what?
Hold on 1 second. Hold on, Michael. The reason I asked you this question, because I wanted you to answer the answer you gave me, write that answer. Some of those startups, they usually feel that if I'm not starting in my college days, probably I'm missing a lot. Some of the people, they feel that age is a factor. If I'm starting in probably in my 40s, I'll never succeed. It's a difficult journey. It's a difficult path. I cannot start at this age. I'm already settled down. And that's the reason I asked you this question. So if you look at Michael, the point that he started is mid of the career. He took the risk of, again, riding the kind of tiger which doesn't exist. So he created that, and he could have done it better because he already got the experience. He already knows the
Exactly.
market. He already knows the people.
You name it exactly right. And I like the idea that it was really a tiger which is growing, and it's, you know, I work for a long time in corporations and so on. When we open a new country, we need half a year, 6 months, 1 year to open one country. With the Industry 5.0 network, I need 17 months to open 102 countries. Brilliant. I never expected. So the tiger can really grow up fast, and at the same time, it's the same like with the time. I am not being haunted by the time. Time is my friend. I don't wear any watches. Here in my office, in my entire watch, in my entire office, there are 2 clocks, which without batteries in here. So they show 12 all the time. And of course, we have it in mobile phone and in computer, but I do not need it, because I know when we have half an hour, I know where the half an hour will come. But I would like to say to the new entrepreneurs, to the new people, you don't need some specific age. You don't need generally some specific education. I do not have university education, and the only time which I spent on universities is by delivering keynotes and speeches on universities. But I never studied there. And what is interesting, you even don't need money frequently, because the only thing which you need is your passion. True. And you need a lot of endurance, because if you have an aim, my advice to everyone who said, how would I fulfill my dream? First reply, wake up. Yep. Because if you do not wake up, you will dream your dream, but you will not live in your dream. So you have to wake up. If you do so, you have to start working, and you have to really have the endurance to aim to follow the aim. And this is important to say. It shouldn't be financial aim. If you say, I would like to be a millionaire, it's easy to make a deal which is 1 million worth, no matter what the currency is. It's not difficult, really. But at the same time, so easy it is to lose it. At the same time, you get million, it's away. So that's not the real aim. My aim is to build a wasteless world. That's the aim which I know I can follow. I even know that I will not live in this wasteless world, but my daughter and the other generation will do. And that's why I do it every single day, 14 days an hour, 7 days a week. I am working towards the same. Because everything what I do, riding on my electric unicycle, being in a factory, delivering keynotes, having the pleasure to talk to you, everything is in this one direction. So you have to be able to follow it. And this is in the passion. You have to love your work. And if you do, you will succeed. Yep. Maybe it will not take 1 day. It will take 1 month, 1 year, but you will succeed, because if you deliver product from the work you love, the product will be loved. And this is the difference to the mass production, which you get a lot of things. There is no feeling inside. There is nothing. So this is the difference. So let's do it the way Arijit described it, ride the tiger, and really be kind to the tiger, and he will be kind to you. He will even share his food with you. Yep. Because the animals can do. The people don't do that. Some of them just keep it for them. Look at Fortune 500 list. Why they reach it? Because they have money. And what? True. And for the audience, let me tell you something which is interesting. Even, in fact, I'm impressed by the way Michael is doing to the world. I would call it to the world, because he believes that when he travels, because of so many reasons, he can't ride maybe in a bicycle, but he rides in his electric vehicle, and he's riding it because he don't want to waste petroleum. He don't want to impact the world. And that's the kind of mindset. It's a mindset which you need to have. It's not about what is your status, how you are moving, what are the kind of dresses that you are wearing. In fact, people like us, we really want to help the world, because we already probably wasted a lot. And that's the reason you can see that
per millisecond, there is an iceberg which is melting. And because of that, we are facing heat in our environment. You need to nowadays put an AC if you are in an Asian country. Even in Europe, I was talking to one of my friends just last night. She got a baby recently. She is telling me that it is very difficult nowadays to stay in the cities because heat is really, really difficult for them. So it's changing. I think we should wake up and understand what we are doing to the world. And we should be able to understand the kindness Mother Earth is giving us back. We need to learn that lesson. With this note, I have a last question for Michael. What is your future goal, Michael? You have been doing amazing work, but if I can have the liberty to understand what is your future goal, which probably can impact thousands, probably millions of lives, please.
The aim is all the time remain the same. So to reach it, we have to give the tools to everyone in the world. 8 billion people should have the access to the information and to the tools that waste can be prevented. Because the people don't have it, because the waste industry and some other players, I call them giants, they push us that we must create the waste, but that's not true. And let me show to your audience the vehicle which you spoke about, because many people think that when I'm riding electric, I have to have a car. I am not rich enough to buy electric car, but you know, this is my vehicle. This is electric unicycle. This device is being ridden like this.
And you move.
You just generally transfer your balance to the feet or to the toes, and you ride. Generally, this device, just to add, it can go 50 kilometers per hour in a speed, and it can go 100 kilometers on a single charge. And this is 3 years old. The newest one can go 100 kilometers in a speed and 350 kilometers on a single charge. And I have on this device, or on similar, because I'm riding for 7 years, I have 60,000 kilometers on this. And because it improved my body core, very intense, I was never, for 7 years, I wasn't a single day ill. And I like off-road riding, I like this stuff. So if I go for a speed ride, I have a full face helmet. If I go for a city ride, which is slow just to go home or to the office, I don't have it. I have only gloves all the time. But and this is the change, because if you think about going clean, and I know right now there are big subsidies in India for turning not rickshaws, tuk-tuks and similar to electric, and even support the rickshaws with electric and so on. So this is the right way, because this is something what we already have. We have the electric engines. But why should I have a car to 1 ton to move my 80 kilo? No, it's not necessary. So I don't use it. I use this device, and this is my clean electric ride. And I would like to, when you come to Czech Republic, be sure you will get a lesson from me. So how 100%. To ride it.
100%. I would love to probably experience that, even though actually I did that in Singapore. Not that kind of device. It is a different one, which has got a place where you can hold it. It's like a monocycle kind of concept. And
I know.
That's brilliant. That's actually brilliant. In fact, for all the audience, to be very honest, if you don't know me, even I ride normal bicycle, not an electric one even. I ride it on my own because I want to protect the environment. We have done enough mess for it. I go to the nearby villages, I plant trees, which I probably don't show in social media. It's not necessary to do that. If I'm doing something good for the mother nature, I don't need to create a propaganda for this, right? But people like Michael, who is actually making disruption, I personally felt that we should talk to each other so that at least these stories should come up to the world. And many people must connect to Michael. Michael is pretty open, I'm sure, in his LinkedIn profile. Kindly, if you want to add him, want to connect him, feel free to send him a soft message. and then ask what you want to do with Michael and his brilliant ecosystem that he has created. Once again, Michael Rada, and he is from Czech Republic. Not only that, he is making a disruption with Industry 5.0 as the brilliant execution that he is doing for the entire industry. So feel free to connect him, communicate with him, and probably make the world a better place for the future generation. Thank you so much for watching us. Thank you so much for connecting. Michael, you want to say something? Yes, please.
Before we end, just let me say, dear audience, please let your time be free of waste and wasting in all its forms. Stay safe and free, because this all is important for you to live meaningful life. Thanks a lot.
Pleasure, Michael. Thank you so much for coming and sharing the brilliant things that you are doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.